Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Movie Club. Normally, I have the folder up. It looks like it's episode 10.
I believe that. I think we haven't
Yes.
missed the movie club where it's weird now because we've missed SWW shows and we numbered stuff where we have not missed a movie club.
Yeah, Movie Club, this is episode 10.
Yep, we're here to talk about Hellboy and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Which people are calling Tarantino's 10th film because people count Kill Bill as 2.
It is 2 films.
But he didn't shoot it as 2 films.
He doesn't count them as 2 films. He counts them as...
He counts it as 1. Because it was originally shown as 1.
Can
you imagine being in the Cannes Film Festival and sitting through 4.5 hours? Like, your time has to be dedicated to 5 hours of one movie instead of seeing 2 or 3.
Yeah, that is... So pulling up his IMDb as we're talking, the reason I forget it's his 10th film too is I forget Death Proof is a thing.
Yeah, there was a...
I don't know if I've seen Death Proof also.
It's okay.
But it's funny because I have seen every other Tarantino film.
It's not a super popular one. Okay, movie though.
It is his lowest rated film is Jackie Brown, which I actually like. Which is what I actually really like Jackie Brown. I'm not saying it's an amazing film, but I think it's a very entertaining film.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like no one talks about Jackie Brown.
More people talk about Jackie Brown than they do Death Proof.
But Jackie Brown also has a better cast as part of it, I think.
Yes. Well, Kurt Russell's in Death Proof.
Okay, yeah, but Jackie Brown has Robert De Niro, Sam Jackson, Michael Keaton.
Who else is in Death Proof? There's a couple big names in Death Proof.
Yeah, okay.
Which, I mean, Tarantino's never been a guy to... He doesn't go searching for big names.
Besides Sam Jackson has to almost be in all of his films. It's either Sam Jackson or Leonardo DiCaprio has to be in all of his films. No, not Leo. Actually, was this Leo's first film with him?
No. He was in Django.
Oh, he was. Obviously, he was in Django. But Sam Jackson not being in Once Upon a Time is a little interesting.
Yeah. What's his face from Hateful Eight is in this as well. 2
actors from this are in. Actually, 2 Hateful Eight actors are in it. 3.
The guy that becomes like he's the I guess the sheriff.
Blind Man, the sheriff, and the movie director, and the TV director. I mean, are all 3 Hateful Eight guys.
The TV director.
Kurt Russell.
Oh, yeah.
So there are 3 Hateful Eight guys. Which every time I saw one, I was like, "Oh, I know you."
Yeah, I didn't recognize George as being the Civil War guy.
I instantly recognized him.
I mean, I haven't seen Hateful Eight in a while. I've seen...
So, I'm going to say the controversial thing.
I think I've seen Django more recently than I've seen Hateful Eight.
I think Hateful Eight is my favorite Tarantino film.
It's not my favorite, but it's probably mid-tier.
Because the reason is, it's, I like talking head films. And I think Hateful Eight to me is the perfect representation of how you do a play in film form.
Yeah.
And I think it is because Hateful Eight, minus 2 scenes, takes place in a log cabin. And it perfectly takes place, and it's all about these people just talking to each other. That's the entire film.
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm counting, like, right outside his log cabin.
I can think of 4 that aren't.
Okay, I'm sorry. 2 hours and 15 minutes of this 5-hour film are just in the log cabin. Is that better? But I think you understand what I'm saying, at least.
Yeah.
Like, it's this interesting thing of here are 8 or 9 actors in a room, and they're just talking. Is like the bulk of this film. Is the entire tension of this film is them just talking to each other, basically.
Well, okay, hold on. If you take out, like, the flashbacks, then it's only... It's 2 scenes less. Because I think there's 2 flashbacks.
There's, I think, of 1. What's the other one?
There's the one where...
There's dick sucking, and what's the other one?
Yeah, there's the dick sucking, and then there's, I thought, one other. That may have been in...
The other flashback was in the bar. That's why I'm not thinking that it... What are you thinking of?
No. Maybe
there was 2 flashbacks in the bar.
The barn?
No, like in there.
Yeah, no. I thought there was something with the letter, maybe. See, here's the problem. I haven't seen it in such a long time that I can't remember.
I didn't think we actually got a flashback letter. I think they just talked... Oh! No, that's the opening of the film, I think, is the only one I can think of.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, Hateful Eight. I at least think Hateful Eight didn't get enough rep. Because I think it is a very interesting film. I legitimately think, because Hateful Eight is such a slow burn, it is not for everyone.
No. Tarantino's movies are for a very specific crowd, and he's making it even more specific.
We'll get to it in a bit, but I think this was the most Coen Brothers Tarantino film I've ever seen in my life. This, to me, if you remove the word Tarantino and put the word Coen, I would have believed you.
No.
Okay, we'll get there.
For a couple of reasons.
Okay, but we'll get there. Okay. So, this is Movie Club. So, as always, Movie Club, we start with random other shit we've seen or playing. So, first, I think it's time... So, AJ, I have finally seen Vice. The biopic about our Lord and Vice President, Dick Cheney.
It's not even really a biopic. It's like a satirical...
It is... Okay. So, I've been thinking about it and reading about it more since I've seen it. I think Vice is half to 2/3 a great film. Like, I enjoy Matt Damon interrupting. I enjoy, like, Dick Cheney dialogues. I enjoy...
That's not Matt Damon.
Is that not Matt Damon? I thought
that
it was
is not Matt Damon.
Who the fuck is that?
That's, Jesse Plemons.
No.
Yep.
I thought that was Matt Damon this entire time.
Nope.
Are you positive?
I'm 99% positive that's Jesse Plemons.
This is very awkward. Okay, so I enjoyed Jesse Plemons interrupting. I enjoyed... You're right, I'm ignoring that. I enjoy, like, that entire, like, shtick of this film for a while. I've always confused Jesse Plemons and Matt Damon, by the way.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to get into it.
But, like, so, like, I think that entire... I also think the thing of up to Dick Cheney becoming vice president, like, anything before, like, the actual, like, scene of him meeting George W., I think is a great film. I think after he becomes vice president, it loses himself and like, it's... Obviously, the entire film there's a certain bent to it. Like, we're not going to sit here and say there isn't. But I feel like they gave up of making an entertaining film at that point and just wanted to, like, rip Dick Cheney and George W. Bush as much as they could once you get after that point. And also,
I really want to see the Adam McKay George W. movie. I want Sam Rockwell as W. Like,
but here's the question though: can he do better than Oliver Stone did with W?
Well, just like the satirical, like. Because Sam Rockwell played a really, really good Bush.
Oh, he did. But I also think Josh Brolin and W did. And that's why I don't know if... I think we already have that is why I don't know if I agree with you.
Also, great call to cast Sam Rockwell as W.
Okay, yeah, I would have never casted him in a movie either. That is a great fucking call.
He's like, what's his face? That's in everything. He's in the Nolan Batman movies. He's, Gordon.
Oh! Yeah, I was about to say, I assume you meant Gordon.
He's in everything. What's his name?
Gary Oldman.
Yes, the Oldman effect. Where you don't realize it's them until you read the credits and it's like, oh shit, he's in there.
No, I knew that was... Once I knew that was on Marco and I saw him, I was like, that is Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you, he played a great W. I just mean, so my problem with the Vice is, once you get past him becoming VP, I felt like the film went from an intended thing to just like, let's just rip George W. and Dick Cheney down a new one.
Yeah, which I mean...
I'm not saying they can't do that. I'm just saying, like, the first half of the film, even though they were doing that, I didn't feel that the same way.
No, I definitely feel like they were a little more... Maybe respectful is the right way?
Like Donald Rumsfeld, they were never respectful to, for the record. But, like, to Dick Cheney, they were. And that's what's interesting to me. Like, it's almost like the people writing this film didn't hate Dick Cheney to become VP, or they never had reason to hate them.
Yeah.
Also, the stuff in this film, like, it's very satirical to the point where, like, the stuff they quoted as, like, facts, even people who are, like, have, like, somewhat done research are all, like, very questionable stuff.
Yeah.
Which, again, it's an okay film, but, like, whatever. So, AJ?
Mike?
This was not in our plans, but I remembered why I wrote down this movie in my show notes. We need to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home.
I didn't see it.
Are you going to see it? Probably
not.
Okay. AJ, warnings for Spider-Man Far From Home for the audience. If I told you this film, so me and my nephew saw it, right, when I was home in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
This film made me, no joke, my jaw dropped to the floor and I screamed, what the fuck? Why do you think I did that in this film?
They kill Spider-Man.
No. So, kind of background. Shocking. Jake Gyllenhaal is the villain of the film, and so it ends with like Spider-Man beating him, but like something happens because Jake Gyllenhaal is like kind of like a like guy with tech the entire time, and it ends with like Spider-Man's secret identity being revealed to the world is like the post-credit scene in this film. Who do you think reveals Spider-Man's identity to the world?
Happy.
No. What if I told you that Spider-Man video games, who would reveal Spider-Man's identity to the world if he knew it?
The video games?
Yeah, like Spider-Man the video game from 2018.
Oh, Miles Morales.
No. Who would reveal it to the world? You know this answer.
It's a guy?
It's a guy. He runs a radio show.
Oh. J. Jonah Jameson?
Oh, it gets better. What if I told you the movie ended during the post-credit scene of J.K. Simmons is back as J. Jonah Jameson, running the little news show that they ran in the video game, and it's his face. Like, he literally walks on the screen, and everyone's like, holy shit, it's J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, as the guy from the video game Spider-Man. They brought him back, but he runs an InfoWars-ass website.
I feel like that's what, like, Sam Raimi wanted to do, like, InfoWars, but InfoWars wasn't a thing when he made the movies.
But you understand the moment I had when they're like, so what is this? The post-credit scene happens, right? And, like, Spider-Man lands, and also they go, breaking news from controversial website Daily Bugle, and in my head I'm like, the dream right now would be they show J.K. Simmons, which is impossible. And then all of a sudden you just see J.K. Simmons on the stream talking, and I'm like, what?
Well, why would that be impossible?
Because he's under contract with DC, is why I thought it's impossible. Also, Marvel has so far not wanted to touch past Marvel things with a 10-foot pole. And he was literally J. Jonah Jameson in a past Marvel things where we thought it was possible, and also he just was in Justice League.
And, like...
So I assumed, independent Justice League, I assumed was they didn't want to do this because it brings up questionable things of he played the same character in a past Marvel film in a different universe. And the question becomes, until recently, can the modern audience understand it's not the same world?
How do you explain Stan Lee's cameos in every Marvel movie?
I don't know. I don't think of Stan Lee in the same way. I think of a character that like actually does something.
But it's the same thing. Like you're saying, how do they decipher that it's different worlds? Like Stan Lee is this shape-shifting character. Like one movie he's a FedEx delivery guy. One movie he's a general. One movie he's he's Hugh Hefner.
That's true. But anyway, when J.K. Simmons walked on the screen, my mouth literally dropped because then he's the one who literally at the end of the film he goes, and then basically it's Mysterio made a thing of like showing Spider-Man like doing some serious thing which didn't happen, took out of context, and literally Jake Gyllenhaal ends and he goes, Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker and he goes to this high school, and that's how the film ends.
Okay.
And they announced like Marvel Phase 4, right? A Spider-Man film is not in Phase 4, which means we don't get an answer to this question for at least 3 years.
Oh no. What will the world ever do?
But I'm genuinely curious of, like, Spider-Man was, like, the one hero they purposely, like, made a point of, like, not revealing his identity.
Well, he was the only, like, he's the only masked character.
Right, and that's what's interesting, because the whole idea is, like, he's a teenager. It's not like he is full-time hero.
Yeah.
So I'm genuinely curious. Okay. AJ, have you played anything fun or seen anything good this past month?
Played-wise, what have I played? I've been playing the GTA Casino update.
So, do you want to talk about how it's banned in 80 countries or whatever the hell it is?
It's 50 countries.
God damn it. I still saw it as the opening trailer for frickin' the movie we saw.
So, when you said that, I was like, okay, that's weird. But then it was in my preview package too, and I'm like, oh yeah, they've done this before. They did it for one of the last updates.
Because I've never noticed that.
Yeah. They do it, Rocket League does it, who else? Call of Duty will every now and then.
Call of Duty shocks me the least, and also it shocks me the least when it's a game that's new. I think is what also shocked me.
Also, I think what you're forgetting is that GTA is probably the largest media property ever.
I agree, it probably is.
So it's kind of like it's bridged a lot of gaps.
It's just very interesting though when I walk in a theater, I don't expect to see a 6-year-old games update on the big screen.
Yeah. I mean, they have the money to do whatever they want. They could probably put,
Take-Two
they could put the trailer as, a full commercial break between a sporting event.
Take-Two could probably literally just be like, we're just renting out theaters just to stream GTA if we wanted.
Well, that game makes, like $1 billion a year, so they could...
Easily. What do we think it makes a year?
Probably... Well, it kind of depends, because, like...
I think $1 billion is probably a good guess for a year.
The recent updates haven't been that great.
But they still make money.
But the thing of it is,
quality.
they make everything so expensive that you have to buy shark cards. So that's how they make their money.
And
But then people realize the updates suck, so people aren't playing.
But think about how many times GTA is in the top 10 games in a month.
But yeah, also, whenever I see that, like, how do you not already own GTA? Like,
That's what at a certain point, because GTA 5 has sold like something absurd, like 150 million units. Like, who the fuck is buying this game?
but that's got to be close to Minecraft now.
So my understanding is Tetris is the best-selling game of all time.
Because they include every version of it.
Yes. So basically, the way this list, I have the list up in front of me.
And there's
Never
about
mind.
90 versions of Tetris.
My God, Tetris is now the second best-selling game of all time.
Did GTA finally pass it?
Minecraft passed Tetris officially as the best-selling video game in history. GTA 5 is number 3. So Minecraft is at 176 million units, Tetris is at 170 million units, and GTA 5 is at 110 million units. What? Okay, AJ, I'm about to blow your fucking mind. What is number 5? Actually, yeah, what is number 5 on this list?
3 is GTA. 4 is probably Wii Sports.
Okay, you are correct. What is number 5? At exactly 50 million. As the last release number, obviously.
I would guess World of Warcraft, but probably not.
I would never have guessed this game. You ready?
50 million. I don't know.
Players Unknown Battleground.
And I guarantee you they include the mobile version in that, and that's free?
So they don't. So the way this works is, if you look at this list, is it's games that sold for an upfront cost.
Okay.
That's why Minecraft still counts, because you had to pay like $2 or $3, but PlayerUnknown Battleground mobile would not count.
50 million at 30, so that's
1.5
billion dollars
without
before
before microtransactions, but like we're not counting sales, so probably equals out decently well. Probably 2 or 3.
Well, wasn't it like $60 on console too? So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So even when you count sales, it probably $30 is a good average. After that, it literally goes Nintendo, Pokemon, Nintendo, Skyrim.
because a lot of the Nintendo stuff is all pack-ins.
The first Nintendo thing on this list that is not a pack-in is Wii Play, which is the first thing on this list that is also not a pack-in. Everything 15 and above has been bundled with a console at some point.
Wii Play, I think that was if you got the Motion Plus. So that was technically a pack-in.
I'm pulling it up now. It's 2006, so I don't think so. No.
Oh no, Wii Sports Resort was the Motion Plus.
Yeah, no, Wii Play is 2006. It was a Wii launch game, apparently. So, okay, I'm going to jump down this list. It goes Minecraft, Tetris, GTA 5, Wii Sports, PUBG, Super Mario Brothers, Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, Yellow, because they count as one thing, and they always cheat like that. Then Wii Fit and Wii Flip Plus is 1 unit. Then Mario Kart Wii. Then Wii Sports Resort. Then New Super Mario Brothers. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Skyrim. Diablo 3. Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal. And then Duck Hunt. And then Wii Play was that first non-console exclusive.
Duck Hunt wasn't a pack-in unless you bought the one version.
They count anything that was ever a pack-in. That's how that works. It doesn't mean it was exclusively a pack-in. It means it was a pack-in at some point. Okay.
That's really shitty then, because I can bet a lot of GTA sales, especially for the PS4 and the 1. Well, I'd run them in PS4, were the GTA bundles.
That's true. Okay. As we end this conversation, AJ, name to me the 50th of the top 50 best-selling games.
How many units?
16 million looks like the last reported number.
Borderlands 2.
No, Borderlands 2 is at 20 million. And Borderlands 2 is like the 40th, it looks like. Do you want me to give you stuff right above it? So,
Sure.
the games directly above it is Pokemon X and Y is 49, Last of Us is 48, GTA 3 is 47, and then Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing is 46th best-selling game of all time. I would never have guessed that in a million years.
16. What console generation? If it was split between two.
No, I'm trying to think when this would be. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like, so this is gonna be weird. So it was a PC game. So during the N64 era, but it became a console game during the PS2, Xbox, GameCube era.
Half-Life 2.
No. You ready?
Portal?
No. Think
Well, I
about
guess
the era.
they would include that into the
Portal
Orange
Portal was way past then.
Oh, okay, so it was before that.
That's what I said. Think about it.
Well, because the Orange Box came out on PS2, so that when you said PS2.
So PS2, GameCube, and Xbox was when it came to consoles. It was on PC a couple years before then. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
PS2, Xbox,
And GameCube.
and GameCube. There was a PC version.
Game of. Yeah.
I don't know.
The Sims.
Makes sense.
And so The Sims on this list does not shock me. So the games on this list that shock me are Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, Call of Duty Ghost is on this fucking list. What else is on?
Call of Duty Ghost was the last of the Call of Duties that people just bought blindly.
Okay. Only one FIFA is on this list, which is FIFA 18.
Well,
So apparently-
FIFA sells, but it doesn't sell as good as you think.
But it's funny that FIFA 18 is the one on this list. I would assumed... I don't know. I think it's also the only sports game on this list.
Also, FIFA 18, I think, was one of the first ones on PC. Actually,
That
hold
could
on.
be.
I can check, because I can look at the vault. Of course, I don't know if, when they were released, because, like...
I can see when it was. I was just curious, what's the earliest one you have?
Well, no, like, if... Because I know they have some of the older FIFAs on here. But, like, were they released the year that they came out? Or are they kind of, like, re-releases on the PC? Let's see. FIFA 15 is the oldest FIFA that apparently you can get on PC.
So FIFA 18, I think might be so FIFA 18, I think is the last one that also was on last gen consoles. So between Xbox 360 and PS3, you have an extra like 150 million units to add to your numbers.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting to me. That's the only one on this list of any sports game.
I just realized I can get Frostpunk on Origin.
I like it.
Free.
Also, officially, which I did not realize, that Modern Warfare 3 is the best-selling Call of Duty. I thought it was Black Ops. Black Ops 2, I know, is the money-making, the best Call of Duty, but not sales.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Shifty.
So, AJ, do you want to talk about now the man from the devil himself?
Yeah, we can. I thought you had some other stuff you wanted to talk about. But...
It's up to you.
Okay.
Actually, one thing we gotta talk about before then. AJ,
What?
can you tell us about the Cold Land? And what you were doing up there?
Canada? That was a while ago, bud.
No, Alaska.
It wasn't that cold because it's the summer.
So in my head, Alaska is always like negative 10 degrees. Is that not accurate?
No, because you're a simple-minded buffoon.
But like, I assumed that like Alaska only gets so warm.
Interior Alaska can reach almost 100 degrees.
Really?
Yeah.
So to get to like the northern parts of Alaska, does it at least like not get that high?
Yeah, as you get further north, obviously, it cools down, but...
'Cause Alaska's pretty damn big, that's why I was curious.
It's extremely large. And yeah, I mean, like you think about interior Alaska, you could be, I think it's almost 1,000 miles from any large body of water. That isn't a river, because they've got the Yukon River that kind of cuts the state in half.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and that's a lot of just plains, so there's not a lot of elevation change. Or tree cover, so it gets hot because there's nothing to break up the sun.
Interesting.
It's much the same way in Siberia. Siberia can get to be about 100 degrees.
Which again, I don't know if I ever realized this.
It's because you never decided to look at, oh, what's Alaska like in the summer? Because everybody thinks Alaska's being cold.
Of course I never thought of that. I'm sorry that didn't cross my mind of like, let's Google Alaska this morning. Was that a good representation?
I mean, I didn't do that, but I knew the best time to go would be in the summer.
Alaska. Didn't work. So,
Man,
did you guys do...
really playing up and just being a simpleton, I'll tell you what.
Did you guys at least do some fun stuff in Alaska?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I've got to ask, how many Mounties did you see?
0.
No Mounties?
Because we were in the U.S.
I don't know. I assume that the Canadians just kind of stay on the Alaskan border. Like, Mounties are patrolled there and just kind of keep staring and being like...
Also, I was in Anchorage, which is a good, decent ways away from Canada.
I just assume that, like, they're just staring at you just to be safe.
God, you're like fucking Sarah Palin. Oh, I can see Russia from my backyard.
The difference is, I'm not the governor of Alaska, so I just have an excuse for not knowing the information.
I will say, there are parts of Alaska where if you were living there, you could see Russia.
So maybe she could.
She couldn't because nobody lives in the places that you could do that.
What if she was the only one, like, it was like the super stereotypical, like, super windy thing, and she'd walk in, freezing cold, and she just has binoculars just staring at Russia?
She wouldn't, because I don't think she would understand how to operate a pair of binoculars.
Why not?
Well, let's just say she was lacking in the brain cells department.
I still wish we lived in a world where John McCain almost chose Joe Lieberman as his VP. Can you imagine the world where he chose a sitting Democrat as his VP?
I think if John McCain was running in 16 and didn't have the disappointment of, what was it? Was it 08? Or was it? Yeah, it was 08.
Oh, wait.
If he didn't have that disappointment from 08 and he ran in 16.
Well, he died in 18, to be fair, but...
Yeah. Well, his health deteriorated very quickly.
Like it was absurdly quickly.
Yeah. If he ran...
Can you imagine a 79-year-old man running for president? I'm sorry, where do you have that? Never mind.
Yeah, how old was Trump when he was the oldest president to win?
So he's the oldest non-incumbent. Ronald Reagan was like 3 months older when he won re-election.
My point still stands. He was the oldest president to win.
Yes.
Because re-election is
Different.
nothing anymore. Like, you're always going to get 2 terms, it seems like.
Unless your name is HW.
Or Carter, right? But Carter didn't want to run again.
No, he did. Carter lost to Reagan in a fucking landslide. So
Well,
HW
but
at
he
least
had
was...
to run.
No.
Carter had to run for re-election. He didn't want to. I thought was the thing.
I don't know about that. Because if
Well,
anything,
you couldn't just give up the president. I guess you could concede the election right away, but
so the last person to not run for election is LBJ.
probably smart.
So LBJ in '68 was running for election. He lost Iowa, is why he dropped out. Because Iowa is the first primary of the election season.
Yeah.
He lost it. So in response, he dropped out of the race.
And it's smart because I don't think he would have won on the back of
If he can't win,
a lot of the Democrats that voted.
right? Because at that point, you had Bobby Kennedy entered the race. At that point,
Yeah. But just the people that voted in the ticket he was on were voting for JFK and not him.
but he won in '64 by a landslide. Don't forget.
Off of, he had to cover for a dead president. Like,
He had covered for a dead president, and he passed 2 acts that were JFK-sponsored acts that he got passed. Because both the tax reform bill and the Civil Rights Act, JFK introduced to Congress before he was shot.
so he won off the back of a dead president. It's not like
Yeah, and then '68 is when he dropped out.
exactly. So anyway,
Yeah. Interesting. Alaska. Okay. So AJ, for our own movie for Movie Club, we saw the 2018 Hellboy.
yeah.
Is that accurate? So, I sent you a text, which I think is my 30-second review of the film perfectly. 2018's Hellboy is what I was scared Deadpool was going to be. Is that accurate?
Sure.
Because 2018's Hellboy, the first 15 to 30 minutes of that film is actually funny, it's somewhat comical, it has some cool lines, it gets a little goresome and weird at points where I was like, oh, the film might be fun. And then we figure out the synchronization and it falls off a fucking cliff.
I don't think it was ever on the cliff to begin with.
I think the opening little bit of that film wasn't horrible at all. I think the opening little bit of that film was actually entertaining.
Also, I will say, at the end of the movie, I'm glad he became the devil. Because I don't think Ron Perlman ever did that.
No.
So we never got to see... Which they totally spoiled in the trailers. It's like one of the shots of the main trailer is him with what we find out to be Excalibur and the devil horns and the crown of fire. Which is a really, really cool visual.
It is a cool visual. What is your opinion of Ye Old Hellboy?
It doesn't need to exist, and I think it tarnishes Ron Perlman's Hellboy.
So I don't know if I've seen Ron Perlman's Hellboy. Was Ron Perlman's Hellboy at least better? So at least that one at least warranted a sequel. You're telling me?
Yes.
Because
this one they're remaking the first Ron Perlman Hellboy.
this one also had moments of like, and this is gonna weird coming from me. It was too gory at points for no reason.
Yeah, it was. Oh, somebody figured out the fluid dynamics and After Effects, and
Let's just make everything atrociously disgusting.
which I saw this movie on an airplane, and
Only a I hope you had a kid behind you.
most of the kids that I knew were in my vicinity were in front of me. So,
That's good.
plus I saw it in the morning. It was the morning flight, so I can only imagine what people are like, man, this dude's waking up at whatever. He hops on this flight at 6 o'clock out of Chicago and is watching Hellboy.
So, I'm curious then. So part of the thing with Hellboy that made no sense to me was like how the synchronization functioned. Can you explain that to me, or are you as confused as I am?
Oh, the what?
The like secret organization part of
the whole like black government.
Yeah, because they never explained
subset?
who they reported to, and then like.
They don't in Ron Perlman's either. I think they reference like that they're part of, like there's some weird DoD program. I think they mentioned that in the first one, but that's it.
Also, the other thing that made no sense to me was the like Irish people who had them go report that Hellboy helped who tried to kill him, and then that's how they tried to explain that Hellboy could just handle anything being shoved at him and just heal himself.
Well, okay, so they have to kill giants.
Right, I understood that part.
And so I guess what don't you understand?
It just felt pointless.
Yes.
That was one of those. That was the first time in that movie I went, that made no sense.
Yeah.
Or at least other parts of the film, even if I didn't agree with the choice, I at least can somewhat understand why they did a thing.
Yeah, I mean.
With that, I have zero clue why that was there.
I think it was more there to be like, oh, we need to show that this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah. And then I also didn't understand that the guy who brought that Arthur's stone to Hellboy was Merlin for a while. I thought that was Arthur, which confused me to death.
Why would Arthur be bringing Arthur's stone?
I have no clue why why Merlin was bringing Arthur's stone either.
Because he was the wizard.
I know who the fuck Merlin is. I mean more in the sense of, like, from a story point of view, it made no sense why Merlin was there either.
Merlin was there because he was the only one that could perform the spell.
But if Hellboy got the sword, the whole thing was he turned into the devil.
Yeah. And he would become the destroyer of worlds.
Right.
Oh, what don't you understand?
Why is Merlin wanting him to become the destroyer of worlds?
Because some people believe destroying your world is better than being destroyed by somebody you can't control.
But I don't know if Merlin thought he could control Hellboy either.
He at least knew that Hellboy had
A chance.
had Arthur in him, so there was a chance he would try and save, but it's the lesser of two evils, and the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
Yeah. It's just this weird thing of, like, this film, I think, had moments where it's fun, but, like, at the end of the day, I go, this is a film that felt like a college kid was like, I could remake Hellboy. Because,
yeah. This is a studio with a shit ton of money going, we can do better. We don't need Ron Perlman.
Which, the guy who played Hellboy, I don't know if I have a problem with him, I have more of a problem with the story.
Yeah, they try to remake the first one while also just going completely off the deep end.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any individual actors of this film, I don't know if I have problems with. It's the actual, like, okay, no. Pig guy, I have a problem with, Porky over there.
I didn't have a problem with him, I had a problem with the witch.
I had a problem with the witch's sisters.
I don't think I did. Just the witch in general, just like, oh, well, I guess we can get to it later in Once Upon a Time, but I am all-consuming evil, but I need this numbnuts of a weird beast pig thing to do my bidding, and he's a complete klutz, and just makes her like she is evil, like she is the personification of evil, and in theory nothing is stronger than her. So
yeah. So I think we're both on the same page. We do not recommend Hellboy.
no. I'd recommend it over some of the other films we've seen, but
it's real close to not being.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna take a break, and then we'll come back and talk about Once Upon a Time in Brad Pitt's life.
And we're back.
So AJ.
So Mike.
So I am very torn on how I want to start this part of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I think you should start it. Of like, what are your thoughts on the film, and like, what is your like 1,000-foot kind of review of it?
It is quite possibly, I think, the latest title card in Hollywood.
What do you mean?
The title card is at the end of the movie.
Oh, that's true. So, what's interesting about this film is, I don't know if I like it as a film, but I enjoy it as an experience. And what I mean by that is, there is no story there, but I feel the experience of dealing with the characters is what makes the film enjoyable in the moment, even though there's no grand arc and reason for them to be there.
Well, I will say, this is probably the biggest cock tease in Hollywood history. Because if you watched or read any of the build up to this movie, it's Sharon Tate, Charlie Manson, and Rick Dalton.
So we saw Charlie Manson for what? 5 minutes? Maybe?
Saw him twice.
We definitely saw him.
Yeah, we saw him twice.
Mm-hmm.
It was when he drove the ice cream truck.
Mm-hmm.
And talked to Polanski.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there was one other time, and that's it.
So, the thing that's intriguing about this film is as I look back at it from yesterday, because I actually thought about this a decent amount, is... So, part of the things is obviously, as we both probably will agree in a second, there is no reason for Margot Robbie to be in this film besides she was actually murdered in real life. But it's very interesting because I think, like, her scenes on paper don't make sense in a storytelling point of view, but are very intriguing to watch. Also, Tarantino is obsessed with her legs, is what we found out in this film, too.
No, he's obsessed with feet.
I don't know. There was enough shots where I think it was straight her thighs.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. I think what we learned is they just need to do every film together ever possible because they're perfect together.
Also, Brad Pitt is jacked.
Brad Pitt, when he took off his shirt, I was like, this man is not 55 years old.
He took off his shirt, and I literally was sitting there going, God damn. I was like, God damn, dude, good for you.
Brad Pitt, I was right, actually. Brad Pitt is literally 55 years old. That man is, like, the most fucking jacked 55-year-old humanly possible.
Arnold's what, 60?
Okay. Tell me, looking at Brad Pitt, you're like, the fuck is that?
Also, I mean, there's no doubt he would look like that because he's this, he's supposed to be a stuntman, so.
But I think it's very interesting that, like, Brad Pitt is that old and looks like it. But independent. So, I think there is no grand arcing story in this, but I think it's very interesting, like, whenever you had... So, my favorite scene in the film was Brad Pitt in the, like, thing waiting to, like, see if he could be casted as the stunt double fighting the Asian man.
You mean Bruce Lee?
Is that Bruce Lee?
God damn, you're an idiot.
What's supposed to be Bruce Lee? Let me rephrase that.
They literally call him Bruce Lee.
I didn't even notice that at all.
Wow.
I legitimately did not notice that in the slightest.
And that's going to do it for the show, everyone, because Mike's a complete dumbass, so we cannot talk about this movie.
Did they actually call him Bruce?
Yes.
Oh.
On multiple occasions.
Did they say they were Lee?
Yes.
Well then. I didn't take notes, okay? But...
Wow.
God, I hate you. But no, you admit, I think that scene was very entertaining. Like, the part where he has to explain, he goes, yeah, I threw him in a car. And everyone's like, that's her car. Or the backstory of explaining how he might have murdered his wife.
I was really waiting for it.
Were you?
Because Tarantino's never been one to shy away from...
Cold blood murder?
Just showing just unnecessary violence.
Yeah, this film, until you get to the final 10 minutes, is not that violent.
Yeah, there's... Well, there's one fight before the climax.
Which, that climax is great.
Which granted, the fight wasn't really a fight. It was just Brad Pitt beating the shit out of the dude.
No. That's not even the best moment of that fight. It's the fucking flamethrower.
Oh, no, I was talking about the tire.
Oh, that's a good fight, actually.
Well, like I said, it wasn't even a fight. It was just Brad destroying a dude.
I legitimately, when they break in the house and Brad Pitt just goes and just like clicks and the dog goes full blown like attack animal, I was like, holy shit. I did not expect.
I figured it was going to be pretty gruesome,
but like the dog, I like the part with the dog disoriented a girl so much she ran through it, jumped into the pool, and Leonardo DiCaprio's first response is, grab the flamethrower.
Well, he knew he didn't have anything else, so...
But, like, whose human reaction is to run into the shed and grab the flamethrower?
Well, if you knew you had a flamethrower in your shed, that's probably the first thing you would run and grab.
Also, if you were her, wouldn't you, like, duck into the water?
I have a feeling, I think that she's supposed to be blind, maybe?
I don't think so. So, I looked this up in real life for, like, how the Manson murders actually took place.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. So, the reason why this is called Once Upon a Time is because, you know how they broke into his house and stuff?
Yeah.
In real life, they actually just broke into Sharon Tate's house and killed everyone. So the Once Upon a Time part is they broke into this house first, and it just changed history.
Yeah, because the whole thing is they can't get in, and then he comes out, Rick Dalton comes out, and chews him off.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go after him.
When in real life they could get in, and that was the end. They killed them.
Yes.
So basically, that was the defining moment, was him walking outside to yell at them.
Yeah.
Which the title made a lot of sense once I knew that part of the fact.
Yeah, I thought it would be more of...
I thought we'd see Manson more than 5 minutes of this film, personally.
Well, he factors very little into the actual Sharon Tate murder.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a ton to do with it.
But I also partially maybe also thought that, like, the Manson family would matter more in this film.
Yeah, when they were talking about the ranch and all that, I thought maybe something would come out of it, but
Mm-hmm.
in the way they were building up George,
Mm-hmm.
I figured they had murdered George. Then everything was as it seemed.
Which, again, I don't know if I disdain this movie. It's just, I don't know if there was a story in this movie. Also, besides she was murdered, literally Margot Robbie I could remove from every scene besides the final scene in the film, and the story would make the exact same amount of sense.
Well, yeah, because the movie's not about Sharon Tate.
But, like, she's interstitial in the scenes to make it feel like she's supposed to be a main character.
Well, it's tough with the way he's handling, like, he's trying to talk about the Manson murders without
Like when
killing
she
Sharon
went,
Tate.
when she went to the movie theater, I thought she was lying that she was actually Sharon Tate. I didn't believe she was actually Sharon. Like, I thought she was, like, not Sharon Tate.
No, I knew.
Because, like, the way
That
she was
she was
talking
Sharon
about it, like, it felt like she was lying to, like, what if that was me? And I felt like it wasn't her when she said that.
No, because her first outfit was apparently something that Sharon wore.
Interesting.
That black sweater with the white miniskirt and the white cowboy boots. So, besides looking at the IMDb and realizing that Margot Robbie was Sharon Tate,
Which I didn't do ahead of time.
I only did because I knew that it was going to be about. I knew that Manson was going to be part of it.
Which I don't know. I didn't know what time about the Manson murders. Like, I knew his name, but I didn't know, like, what that meant.
Yeah, it's a really, really weird situation. But I'm like, oh yeah, that was, the Sharon Tate murder. And so then I went to look up, and I knew who the cast was. Like, I knew Robbie was going to be in it and all that. I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, she must be Sharon Tate. Because she looks like her. And sure enough. But
So
this movie is definitely, like, it is not a story about... It's not the story of the Manson murders. It's a story of this washed-up actor.
Which I almost would have sold it different because of that. Which, if I knew going in, like, they were side characters to the Manson murders comparatively, I feel like I'd be less disappointed in parts, where in my head I was expecting it to be a lot more about that.
Or if you were going to reference Charlie Manson, do it in the background if you want to do the same story.
Right. So to me, I would have sold this movie as, here's a thing about Hollywood's golden age set in the era it's set in, and almost not mention the Manson murders, and instead, like, shock everyone when it's about it. Because that'd be a Tarantino-ass thing to do.
Yeah, this was the reverse Tarantino. It
Like,
was,
to me, Tarantino would never mention the word Manson till the film premieres, and everyone's mind would be blown, is what it should be.
yeah. Well, the tough part is he mentioned that Sharon Tate was going to be a character.
Right,
and
but then...
whenever
but
you mention Sharon Tate's name, it instantly becomes...
But at least make people
Charlie
question
Manson
it then. If anything, though, a Tarantino-ass thing to do would be to mention the word Sharon Tate, deny anything tied to Manson, and then let the film say it. Like, to me,
He's never been about denying parts of his story.
But
He will just tell you, like, a B or C story.
Right, but the point is, though, he advertised the story as the Manson murders.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the problem lies, is if he didn't do that, this film, I feel like expectations would be different.
Also, I think he did that to get on top of every press conference
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
The first question, every person that walks in, is Charlie Manson going to be in this movie?
Which you knew he was. Like we knew he was casted. We just didn't know in what capacity.
Yeah. So he just got out in front of it and said, yes, it's about Sharon Tate's death. Then...
But at the same time, like, Sharon Tate did not matter in this film till literally the last 10 minutes.
She didn't matter at all, honestly.
Well, it almost was... It was just kind of like a cool nod at the end. But, like, the part where she was going... hitchhiking with the girl and then going to the film, like, that was such a weird scene.
Yeah.
That's probably
I mean,
why?
they could have easily, like, you can make that movie and not have it be Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski, because there's just a line specifically in right before the climax where the guy, which I'm guessing is Tex, yeah, it's Tex.
Yeah.
He says, Charlie told us to go kill the people that live in whoever's old house.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even need to know that that's Sharon Tate.
Mm-hmm. Which I do appreciate that whole thing, and we all knew when she got the car keys that girl was going to run away.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty funny. I love the idea of them, after cold-blooded murder, they're going to hitchhike their way back home.
Well,
the girls can hitchhike their way back home. I don't know how the guy's going to do it.
They weren't exactly the smartest people in the world, if you look into the Manson family.
I love... So... Like, it's so much of that, like, the guy's like, are you calling Manson a lie? Like, what? Like that one guy, like, God. Or I love the thing of, like, in the beginning of the film, but, like, every 15 minutes you see the same girl that Brad Pitt, like, winks at the same bus stop. So I have a question. What was that girl doing, like, for the other parts of the day? Was she just waiting there, and then at night just falls asleep on the bus stop?
Well, no, she made mention that the favorite part of her day was getting tourists to pick her up.
But, like, she's at the same stop.
Yeah, she's just she hitchhikes into town, or I mean, they go into town somehow. They obviously have a couple of cars.
And then apparently she blows the guys as they drive.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting... It was a cool... I think it was a good building block moment for Brad Pitt. Where he's like, are you 18?
Yeah. It's just... I mean... If you knew anything about the Manson family before this movie, it helps.
Yeah, looking stuff up after actually the movie made more sense to me once I understood the Manson family.
I definitely wish they would have shown more of Charlie, but in the same breath, it's like I can see, the magnitude of reviews and comments going, "Oh, you glorified this terrible person that's still alive."
Yeah, that's so weird. I looked up, I was like, most of the people are actually still alive that was involved.
Yeah, a lot of the Manson family is still alive in one form or another.
Which is very interesting.
And obviously, Charlie's locked up for
hopefully
ever. I think he's serving multiple life sentences. So,
looking at this film, then, I think it's one of Tarantino's weakest, but I still stick with my opening statement of, it's a bad film, but if you know what you're going into, I think it's a fun experience.
Well, I think if you take out the expectation of it being about Manson, then it's a great movie.
Right, and I think that's part of what I have to like separate myself from, because stuff like Brad Pitt in this film has fucking great scenes. Or Leonardo DiCaprio, like when he's acting and he like fucking loses it, is like a great like Leo has great moments in this.
Also, I wish they would have used Luke Perry a little bit more. Obviously, they can't because he's dead, but his one shot was like, that's his final scene.
Is it really?
Yeah, this is the last thing that's going to come out that he worked on.
Wow.
I think he was shooting something while he died. When he died. So there may be something that like is half finished or something like that. But yeah. This is the last project that is out with his role complete.
Because he was in the Westerns, right?
Yeah, he was the he was Boston.
Okay.
And if you look at Luke, and if you look at his son, who's Jungle Boy in AEW, they are dead ringers. It's ridiculous. So I can definitely see Luke's son playing him in a movie. It might be tough to do for his son. I think his son's name starts with a J, maybe? Yeah.
Interesting. Nice. So at the end of the day then, here's the ultimate question. Do you recommend...
Jack Perry is his name.
Okay. Do you recommend this film, AJ?
Yes.
I think I do too. I'm just so torn on like what I expected.
Well, just don't go in expecting...
If you go in and just blindly expecting a Tarantino film, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I think if you go in expecting a Manson film, you won't be.
It's not that you won't be fine.
You just have to process it at the end, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. I think this is one of the better films we have seen from Movie Club.
Yep.
Of the new movies. This is not no White Boy Rick or Widows or any of that shit.
Which Widows is now on HBO.
I'm sorry, Widows, the award-winning, nominated, somehow the fuck film.
Yeah, I still don't understand.
Apparently every other reviewer thinks the film is, like, amazing.
I think it's more of a social thing.
But, like, everyone loves that film. Which I don't get.
It's a social thing. Everybody loves the film because if they were like, oh, this isn't a good film, then you run into the, oh, then, you don't support women's film, just, that would happen.
Yeah. Fucking hell. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining us for this fine episode of Movie Club. A new thing for the SW show. We have set up an actual schedule now for the show, so it's every other Friday we guarantee there will be a new episode. But for the next couple weeks, it's every Friday to check your podcast feeds. There will be a new episode in some capacity of the SWW show, whether it's an interview special, or Movie Club, or the SWW proper, or the last couple of the Borderlands show. Just keep checking your feeds every Friday for a brand new episode as we work into our every other week schedule. Otherwise, remember to like, subscribe on iTunes or podcast services of your choice. You can find me on Twitter at Mikey_Maroney. You can find AJ at Low Boy. You can find the show at the SWW Show. And then live on August 5th, we're still working out the details, but I'm going to be live with a friend of mine who is a lawyer in the video game industry. He also chairs the IGA Chicago. He now co-chairs the Bar Association, which is the law association nationally. He co-chairs the interactive media part of the association. Ross Hemsford at Loading Law on Twitter will be live with me to have a fun interview about legality in the video game industry, all the stuff he chairs and helps to run, and just any questions you might have about legalities. We have stuff planned already to talk about loot boxes and let's plays within the video game industry. So if you have any other questions, make sure to send them our way of what you want us to talk about on that interview. Otherwise, remember, Hellboy, we do not recommend, we suggest going back to hell. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is actually a pretty decent film, I think, as AJ and I both agree. Right, AJ?
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, we will catch you guys next time for a regular episode of the SW Show. Adios.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special interview portion of the SWW Show. This interview, because I don't know what week it's coming out, are the guys behind SCP Blackout. It is Jory and, is it Malik?
Mahalik.
Malik?
It's whatever people say.
All right.
I gotta ask, starting here, what is the nature of that name? Is it like what heritage does it come from?
My name backwards. And just looks cool, and it's never taken, so I just use it on everything.
Oh,
Never mind.
Got it.
I'm an idiot.
I get that a lot.
It's Greek. It's a rare Greek pronunciation.
Yeah. It's
Almighty.
Kyle. That's the I was listening to something there talking about names, and somebody's named Dracula backwards.
Alucard.
Alucard,
Yeah,
yeah.
Alucard
I'm like,
from
Oh, yeah. That's sweet.
and-
Pennsylvania does that.
yeah. Well, no, it was somebody's actual name, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh.
those are really rude parents.
Yeah, your parents I don't know if they love you or hate you at that point, because it's cool in theory until you hit 5th grade. Then the wedgies start, and then it's not cool anymore.
Well, and then it's,
No.
I can only imagine, like, the substitute teacher or the teacher the first time trying to read out roll call and, what? All right, kid, just tell me your name.
But yeah, so we're not fully here just talking about Dracula. So I figured what's a good way to start this is could you two kind of tell us so you guys are obviously working on a really cool game, which is could you tell us how you got here and what your experience was coming up to work on this game?
Yeah, so last year, I wanted to throw a Halloween party, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool if I just make this small little VR scary game for the party. So I did that for 2 or 3 weeks, and then once the party hit, people seemed to kind of like it, so I kind of posted online a little bit, and I don't know, people thought it was cool, and then I like SCP a lot, so I don't know, kind of went hand in hand, just grew more and more into a project, and then into a full game until, I don't know, it's still growing today.
So did you have a development background then kind of before that, or is it very much I'm just gonna learn how to make a game?
It's pretty much my first game. I've been wanting to make a game and learning for maybe 5 or 6 years with little projects, but even though I can make it playable and fun, I've never had a modeler, so it's always really ugly. So with this one, I don't know what I'm using Unreal for this, and Unreal has a marketplace, and now it's expanded where there's a decent selection of models. So I was able to just kind of buy what I need, and then do donations and stuff because people support the game. I'm able to get more things, and then it this kind of snowballs into a better quality game.
God, I remember the dark days, we'll call them, like 6 months ago when the Unreal Marketplace used to suck. And you'd be like, okay, I just need an asset. And you have one thing that matches my description, and it's $500. Who? You're like, who runs the store?
Yeah, it just hit at a really lucky time for the marketplace to expand to even allow this.
Nice.
I want the Unreal Marketplace, but for asset generation for After Effects and Premiere. Because like there's the free templates and stuff like that, but the Adobe suite is so locked down that it's just ridiculous. Or you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on plugins and it just
Yeah, and Action Essentials doesn't even look that good anyway.
no. They do have a 4K version of it, but it's I think $600 just for that. And then you need Element 3D, which is another 2 something. So even to just do like, if you wanted one particular shot with Action Essentials, it's like $800.
It's crazy. That's why practical is always the best.
Yes. Although sometimes you can't practically shoot guns.
Yeah. You gotta use squibs, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then obviously there's more than one of you in this call though. So how did you get to like multiple people then on this team to work on the game?
Well, as it started to grow and kind of want to increase quality, I have Vogan doing one of the like Dr. Miller in the story mode, and he's a pretty big character, and I needed someone to go against him, so I looked. I put out an ad online for like a voice actor on voices.com, I think, and a couple of people replied, and that was Jory was one of them, and his voice is really good for the plant, like the observer, and he was really into the project, so we worked on the lines, and then we just kept working together after that, and he's been amazing, and he's like done so much and go so far above and beyond, and just I don't know, made himself a part of the project, and I made him just one of the devs just because of how much he's helped with the game, and he might be able to tell you more.
Kyle kind of adopted me, so I'm kind of like Igor to his Frankenstein in a way. Like he's kind of mentoring me a little bit in this because I've never worked on a game, so this is excellent experience and a collaboration.
That's really cool seeing somebody that's like, you came in to the project for one reason and now you've taken on a bigger role.
Yeah, you could ask Adrian. I've never let him touch any of my projects. Like that's the biggest leap of faith possible.
Yeah.
Well, no, I tested one of his projects purely to see how fast I could break it.
And it took him about 3 seconds. So then we closed the project, walked away, and went, "You're good, thank you." That's when you thank the person for their time, hand them a cookie, you show them the door, you close it gently.
Yeah, Jory's he's done incredible work. Like he's voicing 70 or 80% of the characters in the game, and like you couldn't even tell it's him. He's made entire videos and songs and just everything for it, just without even really like asking. Like he's really invested in the project, and it's been really awesome.
Also, I'm gonna assume, because I can't tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like there's a certain level of pressure lifted off you, and you at least have another person to at least be like, okay, at least put something to, so I know we'll get done, so it doesn't have to be fully just you.
Yeah, I use him a lot. He doesn't have access to the project because his computer's not really up to par yet, but he does help me with a lot of the writing and a lot of the SCP ideas, so I can focus more on that and not have to worry about the time investment on all the writing, because there's a good bit of writing in there. And he helps with ideas and all kinds of things.
So I gotta ask then, because as you'll learn coming into this, I had zero clue that SCP was a thing. So why SCP, and like what about it to both you guys? I'm gonna put this to both you guys. Then like what really fascinates you about this world and like how it all works together?
Well, for me, I think the first SCP I had learned about was London, which it's like a it's like a mechanical, like mysterious city of like London underneath London. Like I don't know, it's been a few years, so I don't remember the details. But after that, I was just really intrigued and got into the SCP like universe and the lore on how the like this secret, not society, this secret, I don't know, like companies, foundations, kind of protecting the world from just all these unique creatures. And how I don't know, I like the idea that there's more to the world and there's all these like secret goings ons and nobody really knows. And I was just kind of drawn to it myself.
Kind of like it's kind of like Men in Black, directed by Stephen King. Like,
That's very interesting because to me, I instantly think of like Lovecraftian stuff when I see this. Lovecraftian in like a more science fiction-y world is kind of like instantly where my head goes when I first learned about this stuff.
oh yeah, it's got a Lovecraft feel to it too. The cosmic horror.
It's modern Lovecraft is, I guess, the best way to describe it.
That's a good way, because even like some of like the inherent like the way some of the people looks up to it has that Lovecraftian kind of like weirdness to it. Like me and AJ recently watched Hellboy, and I kind of was like the demons you kind of see there. Like it's that Lovecraftian, like bigger than life. Like what is that nonsense?
Yeah, it goes past like the physical laws and into like the metaphysical world.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. So then, I think now is a good point then for either of you two. So as we talk about like the game specifically now, what is the pitch then of your SCP game, and kind of like how is it all like how does it all work?
So the main thing, I guess, it kind of sets it apart is it's really narrative heavy for the story mode, at least. There's a branching narrative, a bunch of different choices you can make. Ends up being like a 9 or 10 endings so far, and like each different path tells a part of the story. So you kind of have to go through all of them to really figure it out, and then that kind of helps you piece together how to get like the real ending, I guess. And also making it in desktop and VR kind of helps set it aside a little bit. And for the writing and lore wise, SCP in general never really talks about how SCPs get contained. So like I guess they get found and recovered, and then they're just at the site. But it doesn't really make sense. So for my ideas, like I set it up as a new site where SCPs actually first get taken initially. Kind of like do the initial testings to see which site they'd be best at and their properties, and then held there while the final site builds and prepares that containment before it gets shipped there. So it kind of fills that gap of the in between, and lets us, I don't know, have a little more creative freedom on like creating the SCPs, since they don't have to be like documented, because they wouldn't be documented yet.
Okay, AJ, I figured I'm asking a lot of questions. You have anything you want to start at?
No, I mean it's looking to be a good visual representation of what SCP just the lore in that is. I mean, there's not a lot of these are written, so there's not a ton of necessarily like here's what the canon, buildings look like. Somebody's always got their own take on them to a certain point. And I will say, like, I'm not a huge knowledgeable base of the SCP. I do consume a lot of it through the all filter on Reddit because it pops up there a lot. And I have gone down some interesting rabbit holes with some of the stuff that I see. And the number of people that like they've got the outfits and stuff like that. And it's like it's a really cool idea of this. I told Mike it's like this crowdsourced world. It's something that anybody can add to, which is to me as somebody that's in the TV and movie production background, like having something where it's crowd made isn't something that normally happens. So something like this that you're building off of something that's crowd created is really cool. Because it's just different for me.
It really, that crowdfunding really should be like the future of funding entertainment, though. I feel like.
Yeah, crowd created and crowdfunded.
Crowd created, yeah. Community driven.
Could drive a lot of, because like that's, everybody talks about, oh, Hollywood's so stale. Well, the reason they're so stale is nobody wants to write anymore because it takes a lot of time. And if we're being honest, studios don't want to pay a ton for writers. Or they'll buy a script for pennies on the dollar. But having something that some people are dedicated to creating could definitely be driven, in the way like you guys are, like creating something from that can introduce new people to the universe. I mean, I'm sure a vast majority of the people that are going to be playing Blackout are SCP fans because they recognize the name, but yeah, this could easily be something that gets more people in, and that'd be cool to see.
Yeah, it is something I tried to kind of write in is from a take from someone who doesn't know anything about SCP. So it's like an introduction, and trying to write it so they can learn and actually grow into the community, but also have the in-depth things for someone who does know SCP to enjoy.
So that's very interesting. So I'm kind of curious. So do you feel any, like, as you write this, then design and develop it, do you feel any inherent, like, almost limitations that are placed on you, almost that you feel arbitrarily, that sometimes you wish weren't there because it's some level of a predefined world?
There was with all the SCPs on the wiki are numbered, and there's a lot of good SCPs. There's like the super well known ones, like Peanut and the others, but a lot of those really famous ones have like copyright, and although there's a lot of really well written SCPs on the wiki, they're not necessarily good for game mechanics, and needing to like tweak it and stuff, and also like I've pretty much made this out of pocket so far, and then with the donations that I've gotten, kind of breaks even. But I can't really hire a modeler to make those. So the big limitation was being forced to use pre-written SCPs, which I'd also have to get like the permission and stuff. So making a lettered system for like the temporary naming of while they're at Site 50 before they get shipped off has really helped alleviate that. Everything else I've been able to work around, but finding a way to use pre-written SCPs was the big thing. And so far it seems like it's working out. People seem to enjoy it, and it offers a lot of creativity to give people new things and be able to talk about the old ones without, showing or writing them in directly.
So as we kind of jump from the story here, unless AJ something else, I kind of want to jump into the more technical, designy dev side for a few minutes here. Unless AJ, you have other questions relating more to like the story and stuff.
Nope, because I mean, I don't want the to me the of the SCP stuff I've read, the magic of it almost drives it more than anything else for me.
Okay.
Like it's this discovery, so I don't want I don't
To
want
ruin
story
it?
stuff not only ruined for me, but also for anybody listening that is a fan is looking to get into the game. Like,
So then, as you say that, then so the first thing I want to talk about is this is for all intents and purposes. You said your first like big game, and you decided to do what I'm going to say. For someone who's done it, the crazy thing of doing both VR and not VR at the exact same time. I was wondering if we could start going down that rabbit hole of like, how are you designing a game to work in tandem on VR and not VR devices at the same time, and like some of the like headaches that have you gone through with that process?
Yeah, that hasn't really been the most fun. Uh, so it started out as mostly just VR, but testing it with Unreal, having to like reset the engine every time I want to like try something new with VR, taking it on and off, making sure it's all set up. Uh, that wasn't very much fun, especially because I normally work with like dual screens, so I can see more. You can't do that when you have VR on.
Mm-hmm.
So ended up shifting more to desktop because it's easier to test things, and I figured I would just make desktop an option. So the code runs pretty much the same for all of the mechanics for desktop VR. I just have to add in some extra I don't know, mechanics, I guess, to make sure that the controller can interact right. And the biggest headache was finding a way to let the game know if you're starting in VR or desktop, because with Unreal there wasn't really a way to
There's no good
notify it.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, that took me several months until I finally came up with some solution, which I think I finally have in now.
So can I
And now things are good.
assume because of your lack of technical background, you're using more blueprints than C++ and Unreal?
Yeah, and it's a lot quicker.
Okay. I've done both, and that's why I was curious of like the line, especially with new people. I've always heard be like, yeah, we just runs to blueprints, and the only issue with that is you get some limitations, like stuff like this where you try to run between VR and not VR, where it gets a little harder to do. But otherwise, you should be able to do most things via blueprints.
Yeah, I've really wanted to learn the C++ side, and I've kind of tried a couple times, but just with the time investment, I haven't been able to really get into it. But if this game does well and I have the time, I do definitely plan on learning it, because the next project is SCP Site 50 Stories, which is kind of like Blackout 1.5, but it's all multiplayer, and I get the feeling I'm going to need C++ for that.
Don't worry, you'll get C++. You'll learn about pointers, and then you'll just close your computer and walk away.
I've gotten to that. I've learned the language. Yeah, I've learned the language pretty well. But when you try to use the language in Unreal directly, it's almost like you're starting over, because there's just so much you have to know all at once.
Oh, and I know I do a bunch of like Unity stuff at work, and then sometimes I have to jump into like pure C Sharp, not using Unity, and I have to be like, how do I do this thing when I can't just do the way in that Unity?
Yeah, as soon as I started going to Unreal, I'll do this a different time. I'm good with blueprints for now.
Yeah, I could see where you don't want to just simultaneously learn both at the exact same time. So yeah, the other thing I kind of want to talk about then, because that's very interesting about the VR stuff, is so your game comes out August 9th in early access. So I was curious, kind of like your decision to like a game like this, where it's the single player kind of like more story-driven experience. Like I feel like that's kind of like the antithesis of what most would define as like a good early access candidate. So I'm kind of curious, like how you're kind of running with that, and like kind of like your concerns of like putting out stuff and then like ruining story for those people at the same time.
It was kind of out of necessity to make it a better game. So I wanted to make sure I wanted something playable. So once I came up with the survival mode, I wanted to make sure it's polished, finished, and then Jory and I came up with like a small little story, so people can play it. It's scary. They can see the different mechanics and the polish, and like kind of get an idea on the background. And then the only difference between early access and the finished one is the survival mode, which I'm just going to release all at once.
Okay.
But I had to do early access so I could get some income, so I can make sure it's up to quality with all the voice actors, custom models, things I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for story wise, other than maybe the beta testers, it's going to be all at once. For story mode, it's going to be just not there, and then it is going to be there. But I'm also going to have a bunch of updates for survival as I add in the new SCPs and things for them to play with.
Nice. So you kind of have, like, right now, this coming up, do you have, like, a roadmap already kind of in mind of, like, how you see updates and, like, how often you plan to do them?
Yes, but it also kind of depends on sales. If there's not enough sales, then I'm not going to be able to hire like a modeler, for instance. But
Mhm.
I have a couple list of things I'm wanting to add after the release, and a bunch of new areas for the story mode and side things like that.
Okay, great. Well, I want to thank both you guys for joining us for this very interesting discussion about this game. Do you have any other final either thoughts or things you want to talk about the game as we kind of wrap this up of stuff we didn't hit?
Well, I'll let Jory go.
I was just gonna say one thing that I would like to stress is that when we were writing a lot of these logs and working on the writing for the game, we were on the SCP wiki just nonstop, just to let hardcore fans know we put in the homework and we did our work, really stay as close to the SCP universe as possible. So don't worry.
So it's gonna be legit. You're telling me you didn't water it down. You didn't put unicorns in the back alley. I understand. You completely 100% made it a-okay. Is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, we just wanted it's a very stern fan base, and they're very they love their SCP universe. So we didn't want to do it wrong. So I think we're doing it right.
Yeah, I have to imagine having that wiki there just to be like, okay, I want to reference this exact thing. Like when people want to reference something from like the expanded Star Wars universe, there's a lot that's not on screen that you can kind of play with. But with this, you can be like, okay, I want this, and I can reference this exact, basically, line of one of the SCPs, and you can go look it up and read it. You've probably read it already, and you know what you're trying to reference, and you can just quickly, okay, what would be a good, like, I'm looking for something that's an object that's the size of a small car. Okay, this list pops up, and this one fits my exact, and you can just quickly, instead of, I'm sure that helps when writing, cut down on lore and world building when you already have something to base off of, because I know that can be hard.
Yeah, I think the big. Sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I agree with what with Jory is. Like we're fans of SCP ourselves, so we're wanting to give a quality thing to the community. So like I'm working with a bunch of like the big SCP hitters. Like I talk with Vogan sometimes about it. We have Dr. Sumerian who's submitted so many articles to the wiki himself, checking over all of our logs. We have SCP Illustrated. Gmadon is like voice actors. And we have my Discord full of SCP fans who I usually run ideas by. They've like helped write some stuff, and like have beta tester channels who constantly give feedback, and I'd like tweak to make sure it's. Yeah, we just try to make sure it's legit. Like I have a lot of different sources trying to like help make this the best we can to stay true to the SCP theme.
Mike, they're effectively like, they're sitting down and like, okay, to put it in perspective, they want to make a Lord of the Rings project, and they've got Tolkien sitting there.
Yeah,
Like that's what they're doing. Like they have
That is
they essentially have
Tolkien
Tolkien
60
sitting there
annual.
telling them what to do. Like they can shoot ideas off of.
right. Like we're not using like the certified wiki SCPs, but we have everyone there to make sure that it fits, and it's not just a cash grab or anything like that. Like we're putting in the time to make sure it's quality.
that's a very interesting, again, like this kind of like fun tightrope. You guys probably have to walk the entire time of like, we want to make this our own, but we have to follow certain rules, but it has to be our own. Like we can't feel like we're copying. Like this is very interesting. Like, what are we doing?
It's a balance, yeah.
It is fun though.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I'm glad. And well, again, thank you guys for joining us. I'm very excited to see like how this turns up in its throughout early access and towards its final state. So SCP Blackout, it's available August 9th in early access. It's just on Steam, right?
Right.
And then otherwise, the website to find. You have to tell me this. What is the website? Pronounce this website to me of where you can find out more information about this game.
Theclassifiedx.com. And you can also buy the keys from there. If you buy it from our site, you do get like Discord perks and like names in the credit and stuff.
Nice. So then also, I assume since you guys get more money there, buy it through there, I assume, and help these great guys out to kind of see how this fun adventure goes. Again, thank you guys for joining us. And remember, everyone, you can follow the SWW Show at Twitter at the SWW Show. Find us on podcast services around the globe. I'm on Twitter at Mikey_Maroney. AJ's on Twitter at the Detroit Boy.
I'm not the Detroit boy.
And then I don't know, YouTube on Twitter or places people can find you on social media.
We do have, well, for the Classified X, we have like Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, YouTube. Jory has a bunch of personal things for like voice acting, which he can probably list.
It's just my name. Literally, it's just my name. Just Google my name.
Jory Stoltz.
Perfect. We'll make sure that's in the description down below. And then all of your
Thank
social
you.
media then are Kyle or just via for the game and stuff.
Yeah, everything's linked on the website.
Perfect. Well, we'll make sure we link down below for that. Again, thank you guys for joining us, and thanks all of you for listening. We'll catch you guys next time. This podcast was a product of the SWW Show. You can find more at the swwshow.com or facebook.com/the SWW store or twitter.com/SWW. You can find out more about Mike at Mikey_Maroney on Twitter and more about AJ at LoC4 on Twitter. Remember, new episodes come out twice a month, one focusing on the new entertainment news and one focusing on movie club, so new and an old movie. You can find out more again at the swwshow.com, and you can find the show on podcast services around the globe.